G'day, Hawks fans. Welcome to Talking Hawks. In preparation of the match simulation against the Cats, we thought that we would come together and talk all things Hawks visually, Matt, and also I feel like that we haven't shown our beautiful faces in a while, and the fans deserve that as we head towards the end of February and the countdown towards round one begins, mate. How are you?
I'm great, mates. Yes, important to get back together with the Hawks family. It's awesome to get out here. Lots to talk about. There's a lot that we haven't been able to interact with the fans, in a live sense. We've done the podcast. They've been cracking along. The club's been great, giving us access to some of the players. Frosty recently, Nash, Bramble, Maxi Lynch. So really awesome of the club to give us generous access. And we've been able to feature quite a few of the fans' questions there. But here we are tonight to talk about the first rubber.
Absolutely. And as a few fans have done here already, mate, we have got people chiming in all over the place. We want to know where you're coming from, where you're watching or listening from, Hawks fans. If it's live, throw it in the comments of either Facebook or YouTube, and we'll try and get up as much as we can. And of course, if you're not watching this live, you can throw it in the comments on either Facebook, if it's still up, or YouTube, which it definitely will be up. And we will get to you, of course, after we finished. We want to be connecting Hawthorn fans from all around the globe. That should be. No matter the time of day is what I meant to say, Matty. Off the top of my head, mate, I go beautifully. Just that little preamble bit is where Dazzling gets tongue twisted, my goodness. But hey, that's all part of the human touch here at Talking Hawks, of course, connecting not only fans, but players, administrators, the Hawthorn Footy Club as a whole. We have got plenty to get through. I'm already not keeping up with these comments, so I'm going beautifully. I'm sure there'll be some feedback for me throughout. But
take a look, mate. Yeah, we've done a lot over last year, over the off season, even just working with Box Hill a whole lot more. There's some exciting announcements tonight of things where we will be doing some in-person events, kicking off with a season launch event. So the week before round one, the 11th of March, Hawks and Box Hill fans get together, rub shoulders. We're going to have a really good gathering of. There will be a bit of brown and gold representation, be it, look, just watch this space. You'll be able to get your tickets online. We've got opportunity for a season launch sponsor. One's already taken. There'll be another one, and that will go through all of our website, podcast, articles that the team write, socials. So there'll be some great exposure for a business that would like to help get excited about this year with us and help the fans connect, as has been our vision from day one. So awesome to have so many familiar names and faces bobbing up. We've missed you. You are legends. Get excited about the season to come.
Absolutely, and we will be watching this space along with you, Hawks fans, because, Matty, we've had an occasion or two at the ground just meeting people and it's not about us. That's the funny bit. It is the Hawks. It's all people want to talk about is the Hawks. I mean, we're the greatest club in Australia, regardless of sport. I mean, come on, why wouldn't you want to talk about the Hawks? My goodness. But we do have a few things to talk about, mate, and the game against Geelong tomorrow. Now, it looks like it's going to be 4 periods of AFL listed players, 4 quarters or periods, if you want, of VFL listed players. And I was having this chat at work today, and if the big bosses are listening, it was on my break, and if the big bosses aren't listening, it might have been during work. How much do you care about the result on a scale of 1 to 5? I'll let you answer. I'll let some of the fans answer, and then I'll give you my take, which logically probably doesn't make sense, so you can look forward to that. But we'll start with you, Matty. How much do you care about the result? We'll say of the AFL listed guys. Of course, we want Box Hill to do well, but more fans will be watching the AFL boys go at it.
I'm going to go splinters this time. It's a 3. I'm interested in. What's important is what we're seeing. It's not necessarily the result. So I'm sure Geelong will use it to. They love it. They've got so much pent up energy. Then banging bodies against their own. All AFL clubs this is. So to get a first up hit out with an opposition, they can go that bit harder, and it is different. So I'm excited just to see the progression. But I'm sitting on a 3. So the game progression, some of the players. I mean, our own Denver, he's put on 5 kegs over the break. So he's been working hard at Jai. Jazz, you'll have to wait. Jazz Fleming, but Jai Newcomb, the Talking Hawks own, we're pretty pumped. So those that are getting down to Geelong, look, it's going to be also on KO and Foxtel, I believe, Daz. So there should be a bit of activity on the socials, and we look forward to the coverage. But what are the fans saying here, Daz? With 1 to 5, you're getting many bites?
Not sure about the rankings, but there are people here that are genuinely interested in the result, which is what we want. So my logic here is preseason game, don't care about the result. All right. Hit out, don't care about the result. We're playing Geelong. All right, I'm going to start caring about the result, mate. It's just, it boils my blood that if it's used as to what a preseason game should be, which are things like matchups where people are going to play, try a few things. If the Hawks don't care about the result, and I'm not really sure that we do, we haven't really in the past. You even think of like 2013, 14, 15. I was there at, I think, 2015 at Marvel Stadium where we played North and the boys just didn't give us stuff. Now, we were successful back then, which is different, but I think it's just used for experimentation across the board. But I can't lose to Geelong, mate. I can't do it.
Let's talk. Hawthorn agrees with you if you can get that run up. It would be great to see just for the young fellas, the game plan, the confidence, the new leadership, see Sis unveiled and look, there'll be a few nerves, but it'd be great. But yeah, when it comes to the hoops and going down the highway, I think we've got our own term now. I was thinking about this with Smitty's Hawk Highway, as soon as we like the corridor. I was imagining how good it would be to say, we're going down the highway and just play Geelong, and then we're going on the Hawk Highway, and that's where it all happens. So if we can start seeing a bit of that action, I'll be. I think we're going to get some insight into the game plan for the years to come. So let's use that corridor, boys.
If he was an ice cream, he'd lick himself to death, Smithy, after coming up with that. But I'm not going to lie, mate. It's catchy. And it works too. Anyone there at the Intra Club, just as soon as we got to the wing, it was just straight into the corridor. Connor McDonald and Josh Ward leading the charge there as second-year players.
Dominic said, hashtag Hawk Highway. So if you like that, fans, just start circling that around. And Smitty, if his head will fit on here, might let him back on.
His NBN's a bit down at the moment, Smeed. Him and his partner have just moved in together, which is a fantastic achievement, and just it's gone disastrous for him up there. And I think it's because he's getting too big. I actually think he's starting to really enjoy what he's delivering to the fans, and he just needs a little bit of a breather.
You two boys did a great job with some track watching. So you, Daz, have made the effort. Thank you from myself, from the fans. Talking Hawks, we appreciate it. We think that is exactly what the fans want this time of year. And to get down and give us your take, two sets of eyes on it, and then the article. Check it out if you haven't seen it, just from the latest Intra Club on talkinghawks.com. What do we got?
Just some nice words, mate.
Yes, Jason. Yes, Jason. Well, look, you really don't mind the odd pump up. I'll give you one every now and then a whack just to keep it real. So, as we like to have a bit of fun.
That's how our friendships lasted 10 years, Smithy and I. We're emotional dumbbells. We'll bring each other down if we have to. We'll bring each other up if we have to. It works beautifully. So, fans, keep getting involved. We'll actually get back to the Hawks in just a second. We promise you. But the Hawk, I get the feeling it's taking off, mate.
Yeah, we'll touch on it. The team's been announced who's out. Let's just go to the fans for a few quick. If there's any questions, Daz, there, let's throw it to the fans because it is about you, and we're so glad you're back. Let us know in the comments too how excited you are. Let us know.
That win comment of the night so far? I think it does.
You've got the prize of the night. Who are you most excited to see in this pre-season? I'm interested to see the form. I want to see a little bit of chemistry, but fans, what are you interested in seeing in this upcoming match on Thursday night?
Yep, I love it. And also as a follow-up question, who's upset that we're missing maths at the moment, Matty? My goodness.
I'll go the Matts over the maths. So,
oh boy.
Dad jokes here for look. Everyone will leave by the time I finish my catalogue. So, what else?
Love this
Yes,
answer from
Fred.
Bretta, and I
Yeah.
am really interested in that second answer. The
Mm.
Joshy Weddle, well, both of them went head to head in the intra-club game in that entire third quarter on the wings, both of them playing defensive side.
Yep.
And it's incredible what a preseason does. Weddle had, and look, it was only twice, and it's not that big a deal, but he was getting sucked into the contest into no man's land. So he wasn't attacking the footy. He wasn't on the outside to break away. He was in that spot of if he got the footy, he'd get pinged because he's too close to the contest. And if he doesn't get the footy, his opponent's out the back, and Josh Ward burned him a couple of times that way. Apart from that, which takes time, I'm not bashing the bloke. Matty, when this guy's got the ball in his hand or he's moving, things happen. I know when the Hawks traded in, I was fully ready for them to read out Ed Allen's name. There's a lot to happen, of course, but geez, it's hard to not get excited about this kid. He's an athletic freak.
Isn't it? Isn't it? The size, the anticipation. Look, if the back catalogue of the Talking Hawks podcast, which has been doing, it's just been flying. You and I did one earlier in the year about it was the fan questions, and you asked me, I think, for round one, who what's the surprise? Who's the smoky? And I gave you two. I just said, yeah, debuts round one, Weddle and McKenzie, and I think it shadowed put your answer in a bit of a shadow. You're surprised, but yeah, there we go. I'm loving that because my little punt might be coming true here.
Yeah, that's what we need. Our ego's inflated. You're guilty. It's good. If you didn't think I was pouncing after the leadership group thing there, we're going beautifully. I am struggling to keep up with these comments, but keep them flooding in. Yeah,
I'm just going to rattle off some. So Jay Kennedy, Meek is a big boy. Love it. Look, the form amongst the bigs, it is a little bit salivating for. Look, do you know what I also love? Hearing the little sneakies when you read as much as you can and try and stay across it. Nuke and Reeves, they are housemates. I'm like, give me the chemistry of a this is he the second tallest ruckman in the league? I think he is.
Yeah.
And Duke, who is one that we all are very proud of as a Hawks fan. So look, if those two, the bond, the chemistry builds. I mean, they probably get sick of each other at the same time, living and doing work together. But I just love the sound of that, and look, we've got a lot to look forward to. Definitely McDonald, says Jason Unsworth. Yep. Looking forward. Yep. Ben Bukello. Connor Mack.
Good question here too, Matty. So Cam McKenzie out versus the Cats. The answer is right now, unless it's been confirmed in the last sort of half an hour when I've been on social media, isn't confirmed at all. We haven't heard managed. We haven't heard injured. Definitely don't think he's injured. There are a couple of things circulating on Twitter that if you are seeing them, Hawthorn fans, just leave them alone. Don't comment on them. It's just rumor rubbish, so we'll leave that alone. All we know for now is that Cam McKenzie's not playing. We think it's just load management, kind of why Chad Wingard missed the intra-club game. He didn't look hurt at the end of the intra-club match sim that we went and saw at Latrobe. Of course, we've had more training sessions and such since then, but as far as we know, the club hasn't released why he's not playing. Of course, Cooper Stevens getting concussed in the intra-club game means he's not making the trip against his former side, but we'd much rather him kick the winning goal on Easter Monday anyway, Matty.
Yeah, look, I look forward to him joining the midfield ranks. But look, to that, if it is just management, Timmy has done an astounding job interviewing some of the players, and he did ask the last four that he's done the players' thoughts on Peter Burge and the impact he's having and whatnot. So it is interesting hearing the contrast. All spoke glowingly of the former performance approach and the people involved in the program. But yeah, look, hearing the intensity of it and the sprints and bursts, all of that sort of stuff, it is exciting. So if you want to go and hear that, check out the back catalogue of the Talking Hawks podcast on your favourite podcast platform and subscribe while you're there.
Absolutely. Now, I know there's two people, one of them Cody Mansell and the other one Smithy, that are not enjoying the fact that other people may be taking a bit longer to jump on the Carl Amon bandwagon. But let me tell you, once you're on the bandwagon, you won't get off. The bloke is just absolute money. When he gets the footy in his hand, he came to the wing a couple of times, did Carl. Smithy claimed it was because of him, and he nearly got a whack in the head. Smid, not everything's about you, son, but
Yep.
We love the way he goes about it. And he also looks to be that designated kicker, Matty. I was noticing that from sort of centre back, not to use a soccer term, ironically, but he looked to be that guy centre back delivering the footy as much as Chad did in the match simulation or match practice before the intra-club, was that man centre forward. So a bit of a Port Adelaide flair, maybe, the connection between the mids and the forwards that was so lacking in 2022.
Don't mind it, and I'm happy to eat my words. Smitty was really rating him, and I watched Port play a game last year at the G, and it wasn't against the Hawks, but I was a bit underwhelmed. It was against the Tigers, and so I gave it to Smitty a little bit, and then here he is and bringing it. But yes, I was going to say Brett Lear had that question as well, and let's put those that are in different countries and Hawks fans that are trying to hang on everything out of their misery. We need to answer that one, Daz. So over to you, mate.
He's playing. That should answer that. No, and I'm not saying that to be facetious. That's just the answer. All Love says, yes, he's captain, so I understand he needs to kind of play in that game. Is it going to be kind of like the NBA All-Star? Well, I think it was Giannis who was captain, dunked, and then didn't play for the rest of the game. It could be a situation like that, but he didn't have ice or strapping at the intra-club. Apparently was light duties the last couple of training sessions, got through the last one, picked to play, likely to play. So at this point in time, if he's right to play, then I'm considering him fit.
Yep. Leslie Moyen comment.
Don't tell me I've lost that. There we go. Sorry, Matty, to cut you off.
Fergus Green must play. Yep. I think so, Paul. I think he's proven it in the past. He knows what it takes. We've got the pleasure of seeing Fergus and being around the Box Hill club a bit the last couple of seasons, and everyone speaks so glowingly of Green, and I think he's going to bring that. He's going to bring something to the team. It may not always be about kicking a bag of goals. What Fergus will bring is a whole lot more, and I think he's got the smarts, and with the speed of the game, I think he's going to be able to get onto the end of a few out the back as well. So look, he can kick. I think he's probably going to attract a third tall defender, would be my guess. So he should have a bit of fun with that, and we'll see if he can use his assets to outpace him and how the game plan works in for him. So Sam knows him really well before he got drafted from Sam Mitchell's time coaching Box Hill. So I think he'll make it. What that looks like in different people's eyes and what success is there. Your goal assists, there's so many contributions that a forward can make. So we need a little bit up forward with Lewis going down. So
got beautiful hands too, Fergus. It's for his size, unreal.
Yep.
Jarman Impey.
Yes.
I can't remember being more impressed with a bloke. Expectation versus reality. I don't think I've seen a bigger upward trajectory. Now, granted, I've probably seen more off-season content in person than I have in previous years. So take that with a grain of salt. Matt, the bloke is jumping vertically, and I'm talking off no steps, landing on one knee, and not only grimacing, using that knee to take off.
Ooh,
what are we expecting from him? Goodness.
He's
goodness. This man would have but you got to remember this. He was leading our 2019 best and fairest before he got injured.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's going to win it. I'm not even saying he's going to finish in a particular spot. But if our senior guys are going to step up, he needs to go from that, a guy we hope steps up, to a guy we now expect to step up. Because physically, on the track, he looks as good as I've seen him since he went down, ironically, against the Cats, too, at the G. Yeah. But
Buckle
he looks
up,
good.
Fans.
I'm pumped.
Buckle up. I'll take a quick moment before we go into the team. Talking Hawks are going to be sponsoring Denver Granger Barras, John Newcomb, and Jazz Fleming again. We will get a page up on the website this week so you can get involved. There'll be a few spots available. Understand not everyone can, but it's a way that we can contribute some funds into the club. The club gives you some amazing exposure, and we share that around with our player sponsor group. So those that have done it before, thank you. We couldn't have done half of what we've done without you, but the exposure that we've been able to also extend to that group, to closed interviews with some of the players, in-person events, It's been pretty special. So thank you for helping us. And if you'd like to be part of the 2023 Talking Hawks player sponsorship, it'll be in the AFL and the AFLW. If we can get enough bickies in, we might be able to jump back on CJ, but I'll have to talk to the club about that. I've just said, look, let's be a bit conservative. We've got a few plans. We're doing the events. We're going to be doing a whole lot of things this year. So if you're interested, drop us a line, but keep an eye out on the website this week.
And if you're wondering why, CJ, this is exactly why. Because the man... Here's a question for you, Matty, actually, based on this. Speed versus skill. What percentage of each do we need to be successful?
For CJ?
No, everyone, the entire team. I'm thinking that back line, you've got CJ, quick, Impey, quick, Amon creates time and space. I'm not saying he's the quickest bloke when he's got the footy. Clearly, that's a part of Cam Mackenzie's game as well. If we're admitting to ourselves we're not going to be a great midfield. Now, by that, I mean we're not going to be top 6 midfield this year. Sorry, Hawks fans.
Can you get off that? I'll take over.
That's just... but hang on. But we were the 3rd best team in the competition last year for meters gained off turnover. So clearly we could get the ball off the opposition and hurt them. What I'm asking is do we sacrifice maybe some pinpoint kicking, potentially, to lock the ball in our forward half and give ourselves a chance? Are chaos balls inside 50 going to suit Cozzy and, say, Lloyd Meek better than putting it on their heads, which clearly only worked with Mitch Lewis last year in particular games?
I'm interested in the fans contributing because there's different angles, but my view this year is I'm happy to run the gauntlet, go with some more speed and see what we produce. But having a plan B, if that's not working, changing gear, and sorry, Clarko, we love you, but the plan B wasn't very fast, or the gear change just didn't work very well. The clutch, we had a problem with the clutch from the coach's box. And so if we can change gears a little bit faster, I think there'll be times where we do want to control it. So I think it'll be a game of momentum, and depending on the opposition and the matchups with key players and mids and whatnot, who they're targeting, I think we will see both.
I like it.
Happy with that?
Hawks fans, it's a bit more splinters, but that's okay.
No, it's very good. We will smash some teams by going fast, and we'll get a few lucky bounces. We'll get punished in some games by that same approach. So we need to be able to change gears and go a bit more defensive and control as we need to. No splinters.
No splinters. Small comments coming through, which we appreciate from the Hawks fans as well, which we love. Keep them coming through. Sammy Butler re-signing until 2025 to this. Here's what I love about this, Matty, and it's not just Sam Butler, although we'll talk about him in a second. Sam Mitchell in November said, we believe we've got the nucleus of a premiership team. And then you look at the contracts. Yes, there's still a lot of blokes out of contracts, but the last 8 weeks, we have been on a signing frenzy. So clearly, we're talking the talk and we're walking the walk. And this transparency between media fans and Sam Mitchell, again, love you, Clarko, mightn't have been like that in the past. It's refreshing. It's new. I like it. And I think what I love about Sam Mitchell is even if this goes disastrously wrong, which I can't see happening, by the way, but even if he does, he's going to do it his way. And that is, I mean, if you're not automatically on board, you need to be after what we're seeing in contrast from comments to actions. Words and actions are syncing up, and that's the integrity of a fantastic coach.
Well, even the article today that in the Herald Sun, and I can't place it was Jay, I think.
Clark? Jay-Z.
I think it was Jay Clark. About Gunston going to Brisbane, and look, the headlines were a bit misleading, but
I brought some positivity to the group. You just had to remind me of that. Come on, man.
Media love us, don't they? But look, Gunners just talked about, basically he loves and respects Sam, and Sam's attention to detail, that he's a planner. I love that Sam's gone all in. He's obviously looked at this many different ways, and we've assembled some great minds around it. So him to execute this plan and form it. Look, and that's part of it, Brett, what you're saying right there. I love that Sam is looking a few years ahead, and in what he's trying to instill as a game plan and into the players and the standards. So coverage has been great. Keep it up, Hawks marketing team. And did you see the see Matt Connor day in the life of? Loved that. Half an hour. Find it on YouTube, fans. If you haven't seen that one, they also did it for Sis. We had sorry, not Sis.
Jack Scrimshaw as well.
Yeah, we had old mate Scrimmer on.
We got him first. So,
well, look, check that out in the back catalogue on YouTube if you're interested. So it's Daz. Where are we? We've got the unsociable. Denver's leading the charge there. Let's talk about the elephant in the room there. I love the guy, and to remove a little bit of emotion as a fan and look at it, he's got his work cut out for him with Blank there. There's going to be, I think he's still going to be backed in and be given opportunities. So I definitely see Denver being given every chance to be around, and potentially if he's putting on I know he's going to work his absolute tail off day in, day out, and he's got a never say die attitude. So he's never going to die wondering. I think it would only be his body breaking down would be a reason why we may not. Look, that question's not actually saying will Denver be around in 3 years, but I see him actually building his body out, building his skill set, being able to provide that intercept marking and his dash, and he's gonna be on the edge. He might take a little bit of that off Sis. He's gonna toe the line and sometimes go over it, and I don't mind it. I think it's really great that we see it in the training because you play the way you train.
I like this. Could we be the intersecting defender forced to play fullback? I don't think he's forced at the moment. I think we just got to see what we've got. But I brought this up at the Intra Club, Matty. Fans might notice I might have been looking down a little bit there. I promise I was paying attention to you. So his draft was, pretty tall, heavy, Denver. So here's my question. How many of these blokes categorically are miles ahead of where Denver is?
Not many. And
right? I'm going to read them to you. We're going to do this in real time. Let's do this. Jamari Ugle-Hagan, all right, he had his breakout game, but before that, where I think he kicked 6, was it against North? I mean, North, but okay. All right, we'll give him that. Riley Thilthorpe, all right, he kicked 5 against us. Cozzy kicked 5 against them. Call that even. Is he miles ahead of Denver? Probably not. Now, is he going better than Denver? Is another conversation. Big blokes develop. Logan McDonald got dropped for the finals. No one loves Logan McDonald more than me, so we'll just go there. Then we got Denver. Nick Cox at the moment, not a key position player, but 200 centimetres, his body's breaking down. Zach Reed at Essendon at pick 10. Not ahead of Denver at the moment. Again, number 31, Dustin Fletcher's number, still got to fill out. We keep getting told he's going to take time. I genuinely believe the only reason Denver's copping the flack that he does from outside of Hawthorn fans is because Kane Cornsey said he'd be the best player in the draft. It's one of the greatest mozzes I've ever seen in my life. So thanks, Kana. That's all.
No, look, there's some things that he likes putting a few things out there, but you do get the odd genuine one from Kano, and I think that is one. I think he does really rate Denver. So let us see. SPB White is saying Denver centre half back and Blank fullback. I see that long term being probably what ends up settling as the combo. Maybe Denver on a flank just to cause a bit of chaos coming across.
Yeah. I like it. Not a good draft. I mean, key position players. There's some other good players in there. Paul Will Phillips, Glendular Fever. Maybe this draft was cursed somehow. I'd like to go after Elijah Hollins, though, but that's a story for another day. Taking the pick after Denver. What are you looking forward to, Matty, tomorrow?
Just the midfield chemistry. I do want to see some of the combinations that they use, because we did see the Brown versus the Gold team last week. Let's see what this looks like when we are trying it against perhaps some more fierce opposition. As much as they got some Box Hill boys in there, great to give them exposure and again shows how close the clubs are. But I want to see it against some hardened bodies, because we've still got a bit of weight to put on, because the boys they're young, a bit slighter frame some. So let's hope. I think the smarts are there. I think there's going to be some speed with by hand and decision, as well as some burst out of stoppages. So I'm excited to see that in particular, and I hope the big boys give him a bit of service out of the ruck. Looking for a good little bit of ruck craft, Reevy and Lakes.
Do you reckon we come up against former Hawk Johnny Segler? I haven't actually looked at Geelong's squad. I don't want to, but
maybe
I know they're playing Shannon Neal. He'll play forward. He'll be the second foil for Cameron. So
I'm the same. I haven't had a look at their list, but I'm keen to see Noodle, and I want to see the meat combo. And let's everyone cross every finger and toe for Maxi Lynch that he has a good season with the body.
So, Chris, just quickly, Match Sim, short for Match Simulation. So it's an unofficial preseason game that the clubs put together, not the AFL. And, of course, then the AFL brought the broadcasting stuff in because apparently, I know we've got 23 games this year with the extra one with Gather Round. Why we only have one official practice game, Matt, is ridiculous. Why can't we just play each other once and have a proper round-robin preseason?
A little bit of anticipation, a little bit of flexibility. It's interesting. I don't fully know. As far as tomorrow night, though, you boys wrote a good article. The boys all put their heads together and ticket out the Geelong Match Sim preview. Went live today on the Talking Hawks website, talkinghawks.com. Matthew Green to play full forward? I don't think so, Luke Smith.
Hello. Well, you're not taking on Noodle. I know you were a ruckman back in your day, Matty, but I think Noodle might have you covered just.
6'2". The hops aren't what they used to be. Don't worry. So thanks, Luke. Moving on.
Oh, here's a good one here. Now, I want to talk about this man. Double H.
The hen.
It's the bloke with his hands, unreal. His size, great. When he kicks on instinct, it's a sight to behold. Seriously, you have to see to believe how much of a player. The more time and space he gets, the worse his kicks look. Now, this is an 18-year-old kid. Is he going to improve? Yes. I'm not here to bash the bloke. It's purely observational. There's something here. What happens with that potential, I don't know. But how did this man get to pick 37? It is ridiculous.
Amazing. Look, and come from good stock. So let's see. Look, I have seen some of the highlights and love when he's wheeling around and just, lets it fly. So it is exciting to see. And look, double check. He's in for tomorrow night, is he? Who we got?
I think he might be. I'll tell you what I did. I'll tell you what I respect about him, though. He just casually mightn't have had the greatest final, that last final for the Stingrays, where he was at. Might have just dropped his draft stock a little. Love it. Love it. No, just put it on a silver platter and let the great man fall to us at 37. I respect that.
He's named. I'm going to start with the notable absentees then. So just quickly whipping through this. So Mitch Lewis, Brewsty, H-Mo, Harry Morrison, Cam McKenzie, Tyler Brockman, Cooper Stevens, Tank Morris, and may as well cover the Cats. Hawkins, Mitch Duncan, Gary Rowan. He goes missing anyway. Any game.
No, it's not a final, Matty. So
it's got to be a final. And Sam Simpson. So let's say it's look. I'm seeing Giant number 3 there as I look at this list. It's lethal.
Danger.
The
next,
guns.
Put the man next to Danger, and I want Danger v Fife 2015 brought back. It's only a preseason game, I know, but Danger's got to get some miles in those legs at some point. You can't be 32, 33, whatever he is, and just get out of bed and perform. He's got to put some kilometers in those legs, and I'd love it. Warple gave Selwood the business back in the day, probably the first highlight, I think, that stood out across Jimmy Warple's career. Imagine Jai fending off Danger. Oh, goosebumps. Come on.
Danger's getting a bit slow. Jai's got him covered. How many centre bounces are you thinking Will Day might be involved in?
If we're experimenting, 8, I reckon.
More?
Probably. Around that time. Less. Yep.
Okay. Just going through the list. Ned Long for a sneaky
0.
1 or 2. Ooh,
0.
okay. I'm banking in. Chuck him in
Nah,
there. Sammy
forward.
Mitch. Give him at least a couple, please. What about Connor McDonald?
Yeah, handful. 4 or 5. Yep.
Would Weddle see some?
Nah, wing.
Nah,
Wing.
okay.
Just, yep.
And,
Well, Mitch
and
Duncan's not playing, so who's going to stand on a wing for them? Oh, imagine him v Isaac Smith. The one we used to like versus the one we currently like. Yes, please.
how about Henry Husband? Could he see 1 or 2 in there?
Yeah, I think so. I think that last period, I think the transition period between the AFL and VFL, I think we're going to see a lot of the young guys maybe go through there. So I could be wrong about Ned Long and the like.
Yep.
Here we go. Army World waiting for you to jump in, but see a big advantage in our rucks. Yep, I agree. Reece Stanley, Jonathan Segler, Shannon Neal, and potentially Toby Conway. Not sure if he's in the squad, Matt, if you've still got it there. Yeah, I think Ned Reeves and Lloyd Meek have definitely got something there. And I'm a big rap for Toby Conway, but he's actually got to play. Like, this guy could be a top 3, top 5 ruckman in the competition, and Geelong don't want to play him. Very confusing.
Sorry, I can't get that one up quickly.
Right.
Yeah, look,
the Chad. Let's talk about the Chad.
Yes.
We need to talk about the Chad, Matty. 29 years old, the Chad. Does that surprise you? Did you think he was older?
Oh, he's... No, look, I'm a lot older, and I've just tracked his whole career. So no,
fair enough.
I've got him pegged there.
Yeah, no, it just feels like those All Australians at Port were just so long ago. That's yeah, because he was so young when they happened. So,
but reportedly having he's feeling the best in his body that he has for a pre-season in recent memory. For me, that's really important, and it's going to be about. I don't care about Chad lining it up now. I just would like to see him ramp. I'd like to see him be able to pick his moments where he just goes into impact. And the leadership now, more than ever, being a voice, being there for, look, it's looking at the game plan and being able to help direct some traffic. I'd like to see him pick the moments to impact by his own efforts and foot, but also coordinate. I hope he's that voice out there for us. Apparently, Carl Amon, great voice on the training track as well. So I'm expecting that little former Port combo to and Jars, to really be having a good crack.
Jeez, can we get Brent Guerra back if we're just bringing all the Port boys into focus? It's.
Hey, Goo, if you're watching, would you join us at our season launch party? And
oh yes, please.
This location to be announced hopefully this week. So 11th of March, join us just before lunch for a 3-hour chinwag, rubbing shoulders with some of the Hawks faithful. And I know we're going to have Ed Seal along. I'm hoping we can get Zane Littlejohn, who's involved in the coaching at the Hawks, but also Box Hill's new coach. Maybe we can get a few listed players. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. It should be a bit of fun. Andy Gowers, the invite's there. Let's go. Board members, please come along.
I like it. All right. Few quick fire things, Matty, just because of time, I reckon.
Yep.
Mid-season trades, you for them or against them?
For.
Yep, as a struggling club, 100% for. If you're getting a guy from interstate, if you can guarantee housing, bang, I'm in. And I think
2 words. Yes.
Yes. And I think they need to be longer than 6-month contracts. That's the other stipulation that I put in there. Beach baller, Jack O'Sullivan. Couldn't agree more. The bloke is one of the best celebrators, hecklers that I've ever seen. The kid's 19 years old.
Love it.
It's great. Loves the celebration too. He's a much more humble version of Tom Papley with the celebration. When everyone gets around him, it's a cause of joy and not irate.
Nick Moutsos, Lewis is custard again. Come on. Give the bloke a break. Let's let him get
average
on the
more goals per game than nearly anyone else last year.
Nearly 2.5, wasn't it? There you go, Nico. Watch and see.
Mitch Lewis, 50-plus goals this season. Geez, if he was playing all 22 games, I would lock that in faster than nearly anything else. But unfortunately, if he's going to miss the first month, going to be pretty difficult. 3 goals a game over, well, he's got 19 games. The extra, I keep forgetting about the extra one.
All right, well, that's Nick Mootsos, rock, paper, scissors versus Abs XX, Mitch Lewis. Let's say 50 goals. Let's go.
I like it. So, Hawks fans, we're going to be nearly wrapping this up. So, any more quick fire that you want to chuck in there before we go, please do so. Here we go. Fergus to top the goal kicking for this year. And if not him, who? Matty?
Not for mine. I actually think if Max Lynch, I think he's going to be a reinvented forward. No. And if Lewis doesn't get the time, I just reckon he's going to clunk some. Is that
so? He's going to lead our goal kicking. That's what I asked, Matty.
No,
I didn't ask for an improved.
I'll go Bruce. Bruce will be my pick.
It's the boring answer, but it's the correct one, isn't it? It's just I could, yeah. Okay. Go Hawk boys, couldn't agree more. How good was the tackle on day? Yeah, outstanding. Either Ferg, Pumpy, Jesus, or Massive Smokey, Maxi Ramsden.
I don't reckon I can't get enough games, but I like it. I like the confidence in the young fella. Let's go, Rams.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, doesn't he have some tricks? My word. No wonder one of us really wanted him in the mid-season draft. Can't remember who that was, but I think it was one of us. Jekka, full forward. Yes.
Yep, I think so.
If we didn't have a fourth ruckman, that might be the problem. Can you play Jekka, Meek, and Reeves in the same side? My instincts say no. And Cozzy. My instincts say no.
No, that's too many.
Yep, Ramsden needs time. Couldn't agree more. All right, Hawks fans, it's up and around the 45-minute mark, Matty. I reckon we might have taken up enough of the fantastic fans' time. But let me tell you, we're going to be delivering another live stream and article about the Match Sim Hawks fans, and we'll be opening up quarter by quarter discussions on Facebook and Twitter. So if you're not following us on either of those, I mean, just go do it now before you go to bed. It's a good way to end hump day. All right, you're over the hump. The rest of the week's coming. You're following Talking Hawks on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, your favorite podcasting platform, YouTube. Can't get rid of us if we were a bad smell, to be honest. And of course, Matty, the season launch party is going to be outstanding with more details coming soon. Not only can you come and hang out with us, but some of the greatest people in the Hawthorn Footy Club organisation as we welcome in the 2023 season, mate, which I absolutely cannot wait for. Pretty close to Dazzling's birthday, that too. Mine will be on the Monday. So just rubbing shoulders with some of the greats just to send off year 24 on the planet. Will sound good to me.
Fans can perhaps drop us a wish list if you're going to come along. Which former players might you like to meet? If you haven't, maybe you've got something you want signed or whatnot, and it might be a birthday present for you, Daz, that the fans get to choose.
You're not suggesting you're the one signing them, are you, Matt? Please.
No. That's as bad as that's worse than the call of me at full forward. So
if you want something sweet,
and I'm getting out of here.
He's going to buy some Sharpies, our man, which we appreciate, which we love. But Hawks,
we would love to see you support at that event, the launch party. We're going to get a bit serious. Maybe look at a mid-season and an end of year as well. Just there's been the murmurs. So it's time to walk the walk, fans. You want to do it, not just here. Let's get there in person. Might be a golf day at the end of the year. Who knows? There's lots of things we want to do to connect. And for those of you overseas, interstate, the heart is with you. Come and join us in spirit. Or if you want to get your business up there, you can be the the season launch sponsor. We've got one more spot there. So drop us a line if you want some exposure to your business. We're doing really well on the reach that we're getting these days. So, Daz, thank you for coordinating the team. A lot of your efforts with all of that to make that happen. Fans, give us the feedback. We always love knowing what you want and how you're enjoying the articles. Thanks for your engagement. And, mate, it's good to be back.
Isn't it? It's this footy just felt real. Just at the moment, as soon as we went live and the comments were coming in, I was like, right, footy's back. Let's go. Is it round 9 yet? Let's get into the year. So, Hawks fans, 2023 is going to be a massive year, not for the Hawks, but for Talking Hawks as well. So, for being on the journey, we thank you very much. As per usual, Matt, we always take too long saying goodbye. We never want to say goodbye to the fans, but unfortunately, we are going to have to. The review of the match sim, the preview of the Collingwood game, some stuff in between as well. So keep an eye out on that. Hopefully, the AFLW girls will be able to sign someone through the new sign and trade period, given Chloe Malloy has gone from Collingwood to Sydney. Hopefully, we can snap up a decent player or two. But until next time, Hawks fans, make sure you're following Talking Hawks on all the social media platforms, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting platform. And above all else, go the Hawks.